As we go into INnoVation versus PartinG game 1 of this best of 3. Let's get a little bit of a setup and see just what's going to happen in this TvP. And just change on the stream title quickly. And we should be able to start this off. In the bottom right hand side, our blue Protoss player from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. This is PartinG. Top left hand side, our red Terran is INnoVation. Game 1 of this series is going to start with the proxied barracks across the map, so it's a pretty nice position because actually, if you think about it, right, if you try and pull a probe into this or anything, then this SCV is going to go on a, you know, it's going to be kind of like able to go to the other side. It's going to stay very safe. It's never going to be in that much trouble, I don't think. So, and it's going. Racks dropping down. And we will see the probe of PartinG heading across to the upper left-hand side here. So, making its way up in toward the main base. We'll see there's no barracks. And of course, then you know you're being proxied. So you will go Zealot first. That will be the choice, I imagine, as you do see our probe just pulling in. A couple of SCVs being nibbled at. And we do see the SCV going to chase the probe out around this right-hand side. This guy's going to keep fighting each other just for a few moments. And as PartinG, actually, no respect for this. Does not start a Zealot until... Okay, he does start one now. Yeah, he does go Cybercore and the Nexus before the Zealot, though. So he's quite eager. I guess in a way it means the Nexus doesn't get blocked. You still have the Zealot to shut down a bunker that tries to build in front of the Nexus or behind it. As INnoVation is also going to proxy the factory. I've seen a lot of proxy play in TvP as of late. That factory comes dropping down. We will have the Reaper continuing across through the bottom side. It's just going to start moving up this ramp. Zealot and a probe nibbling a little bit and coming back around. Really trying to get this Reaper, which is chased all the way down to the bottom side here. Concussive shells from INnoVation. I actually kind of like this variation of the all-in because it's very cool. To get concussive shells and like a cyclone, so the marauders keep units stuck in the cyclone lock-on for longer. See, the stalker right now is going to check for the proxy. He finds the tech lab. It's pretty big, but the marauders should be able to hold their own. As PartinG across the map, obviously saw no factory for a while. Doesn't necessarily know what exactly is happening. It's actually going to be Hellions. Oh, just marauder Hellion. Interesting. This is also fun, right? Because it's still that sort of idea of you can trade out a little bit, you can get aggressive. Yeah, I kind of like it. I feel like there's some opportunity here as these other units going to come back around into the middle. So a couple of marauders join up. There's Hellion and the Reaper going up the ramp. And, well, a couple of these units spreading themselves out to try and fight against the rest here. This first Zealot already taking some damage. So Reaper grenade to pop some units up into the sky, and the Stalker's coming in. The Marauder is taking a couple of shots there. Fusion core behind this. I mean, it just feels like INnoVation is just having... I feel like INnoVation is just kind of like... He's got the official StarCraft 2 Blizzard tech tree open. And I feel like he's like rolling a dice, and he's like seeing which not which number the dice lands on, but just which structure the dice lands on. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna build a fusion core next after I built a Marauder. Yeah, it just feels like he's making it up as he goes along almost, but he will build a battlecruiser off of essentially one base here, as INnoVation is trying something wacky, weird, and completely unordinary. It's kind of funny because, I mean, he never really did anything with the first few units, right? But he does force like 3 shield batteries on the natural. An Immortal defensively, right? I mean, if you look at it, there's not actually a lot here that INnoVation is really scared of. Like 5 Stalkers, no Blink, there's no Stargate. Maybe a counterattack is the scariest part of this, but in theory, a battlecruiser defensively with SCVs repairing should never really die to this amount of units. Right? Theoretically, am I theoretically... I mean, in my mind, that's how I see this. Perhaps I am wrong. Bunker is on the way down at the main base. A few Marauders jumping into it. There's the couple of Hellions from INnoVation out around this right-hand side. Just going to see our army of PartinG continue to move to the upper left. So moving up to the top left, this BC already moving out, and it's going to be coming down. You're just going to see the Stalkers pressing forwards, and the BC continues to move into the main. PartinG has some choice words here as the BC shows up. PartinG's like, please. I mean, I don't know if this is bad or good for PartinG, really. I'm not going to lie. I feel like in a way you're kind of like, well, he's made a VC, surely I just win now. But then it's actually kind of scary, right? SCVs are going to repair, and I mean, PartinG's just going to tech up behind this. Twilight Council and the Forge already on the way. Whenever you feel safe here with INnoVation, you can teleport across the map though and deal some damage. As you see these Marines joining up on the bunker. Second battlecruiser about to finish then, as you see the extra gateways dropping down in the main. Did I do it wrong? Is this not the TvP build? VCs teleport across into the main base and away we go. I mean, there's a shield battery about to be done here. He will force a recall. In fairness, if nothing else, he'll force a recall, but that's a lot of Stalkers. And I mean, the VCs just don't have any repairing here, right? So he's going to get a few Stalker kills. Now down to the natural. I don't actually think you can fight anything on the natural because, well, the shield battery is pretty much endlessly. He loses one BC, but he forces a recall. He's going to have a third CC done. And he's got tanks moving down to the low ground here. So tanks and Marines coming down to the natural expansion. There's a couple of extra barracks building up. And that's going to be a cancel/salvage on that bunker already. So getting that done as a couple of Stalkers still pressing through. I'm going to chase this BC down. I actually thought this BC was just going to sit in this corner. I'm not too certain why it continued to fly. Maybe a mistake by INnoVation there, as PartinG has quite a lot of army supply to push forwards with then. I'm a little worried for Inno. I mean, he's got 3 tanks, but 3 tanks... Blink and +1 are done soon. I think that's the very concerning part of this. Blink and +1 are going to be major... major shutdowns on this in general, I think. Well, let's see, as the Stalkers is going to blink straight into this. The 2 tanks go down that were stacked up together. There is no blink, and GG is called. PartinG will win out against the BattleCruiser Rush. That was really quite something. I'm going to be honest, guys. That was really quite something. PartinG goes up 1-0 in the best of 3. As game number 2 begins on the bottom left-hand side of the map with the blue Protoss player from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. This is PartinG. Taking on our red Terran in the top right-hand side, it's INnoVation. Game 2 of this best of 3. What are you thinking, guys? Let's get ourselves underway. I mean, I don't know what to really make of INnoVation's attempt in the last one. It was it was a bit different, right? Definitely not quite the norm of what you would expect or anything. So yeah, gonna see the Reaper setting up and the probe coming in, nibbling the SCV. If the Nexus and the Cybernetics core building up as well. And just gonna see our eventual command center coming down. PartinG expanding after Cybercore. Nothing really out of the ordinary here just yet then. Pretty much what we'd kind of expect so far. We're about down at the bottom side as the Reaper of INnoVation comes to the south. We're going to see a factory of INnoVation building in the main. is quite far away from the front, so it looks as though this will just be, if anything, one single Hellion. Or maybe just straight to Widow Mines as well, possibly. As the Reaper is going to be allowed straight in too, so it will get a pretty good scout. There's no tech to really be seen yet. Oh, interesting. He actually just hides the Reaper in the corner. That's really cute, actually, because now if you start to zone this Reaper, you're basically going to guarantee yourself getting in for the scout. The Twilight Council is continuing up as the probe. This one gets picked off. Another probe here is going to just not go down, but you get the scout, you get a probe kill. That Reaper's already pretty happy as the Adept stops the bunker. Basically, oh no. The probe nibbled both of those SCV. Whoa, what a disaster. INnoVation. Both his SCVs got hit once by the probes. The Adept 2-shots them instead of 3-shots them. Probably makes a difference of finishing everything, right? Because this SCV already pulled off here to go here before it died as well. That's so annoying. That's such a frustration. I mean, in the end, he gets it fixed up, but just a bit of a delay. Oh, you actually let the Adept into the main. Another SCV goes down. The starport finishes up. Medevac will begin. And we're just going to be seeing our Marines continue to chase this Adept down to the upper right. We'll grab another Adept here. And these Marines ready to jump back into this bunker, perhaps. Has the blink on the way, about halfway done at the moment. And our robo facility going to be finishing. Gateways continuing out. Looking good across the board as we do see our Widow Mine building on the factory. Well, this Medevac goes boosting out the far left, so 3 Widow Mines looking to try and drop and to get a couple of workers here from INnoVation. He needs some damage because if he gets nothing at all, the little slowdown in his CC definitely puts him behind. So let's see, I mean, everything just loaded into the Prism to go across the map. And he has got the 2 Widow Mines still in this Medevac, so he's going to deny mining on the main base as well. Is this Widow Mine and Burrows, so still hard to mine from the natural even. These Widow Mines will just go off. Unfortunately, they actually splash onto the same 2 workers. Still playing with the Widow Mine in the natural, though, and Burrows reburrows again. Look at all of this lost mine time. I mean, there's only so much longer you can do this for. I don't think he realizes there's an observer here. He's just going to let it fire. And that will be the end of the Widow Mine. Medevac got out alive, though. As across the map, Stalkers are warping in and PartinG preparing to go for 4 gates of Blink Stalkers, ready to jump into the main base and be hyper-aggressive. As you do see the Warp Prism going to be the high ground vision. He blinks up. The Auto Turret will go down. And these Stalkers are committed in without a blink to get on top of the Siege Tank. Look at the damage done. The Warp Prism loads up a handful of the Stalkers, but that's not good. And PartinG ... Not great right now as the other few Marines down the bottom side continue to chase these Stalkers down, and they are going to be in some continued trouble. Well, that was not the way to do this, guys. That was not how PartinG was meant to approach game number 2, let me tell you that much at the very least. Now he's in some trouble. This counterattack of INnoVation has some pretty good potential, right? Stalkers, they blink in again, and okay, I mean, you put yourself in a position where the Ravens down, the Marines and tanks are all there is. INnoVation going to pull back for the moment, but a 3rd CC building, 2 more barracks in the main base. As these Stalkers come through, and SCV gets picked off, and again the tank continue to pull back a bit further into the naturals. 2 more Stalkers showing up, and the 3rd CC may be in some trouble here, actually. I feel like all of these tanks are too far back to really save the 3rd base, and INnoVation's very afraid of these Stalkers. He's not going to move anything down towards them or further towards them. Oh, it just goes down. I mean, he actually does get a few more Stalker kills. Does this put INnoVation on the point of an all-in? Does he do something very aggressive? Does he rebuild the 3rd? And obviously, if you rebuild the 3rd, it's just a shame he didn't cancel it, right, when it was getting so close. Forge on the Robo Bay, building in the main from PartinG, as we do see the army has come back around this right-hand side. +1 attack and armor on the engineering bays. The tanks, Marines, and the Viking all setting up on the front of the natural. An extra couple of barracks from INnoVation just building in the main as well. So again, some extra racks up and running. This extra CC building also. Charge is about halfway done with the +1 attack upgrade coming in on the Forge. Viking and a Raven. Just gonna hang out to the side of the main base. Still our Warp Prism of Parting out on the far right, and just the Stalkers making their way all the way around the top side. A lot of Stalkers here, as seeing quite a few of them blinking back already. A good few Marines in the front there, able to keep those Stalkers back. The SCVs straight over to the third base, as that's going to take location now. Finally, a bit late from INnoVation, but when you look at it, Parting obviously traded out a lot to then delay this third base. So has it been worth the while? I mean, INnoVation's still even been mining more than Parting, so that question really does remain. Extra gates building over in the main base. The Stalkers from Parting out up on the top side, and just seeing all of these Marines gathering together. Just waiting for a decision from INnoVation as to how he approaches this. He starts to move out. A little bit of a drop. A lot of these Stalkers hurt from before, so pretty low HP. It's definitely engageable by just a couple medevacs of units, as INnoVation starting to bring the rest of his army out and across the map now. Stalkers are all the way down the bottom. Tanks, Marines, and a Raven coming across here. There's a little bit of a Warp Prism play into the natural, so Parting going to try and deal some damage here. Some SCVs pull. He's also already taken damage in the Prism. Off over to the right side. Observer does get picked off already. Raven's still around. He actually built in a second Raven. This is actually really nice against the Colossus, because that's just an interference matrix. And yeah, I was going to say, I don't know what INnoVation is exactly slowing down for. I actually don't know. I feel like you could just run on top of this army at the moment. Now, there is probes going down, but there's still Zealots over here going to get some SCVs. But that is already the third base of Parting dead. Parting supply block 2. Trying to make some more pylons now to try and find a way to defend this, while also, I guess, hoping that this attack across the map does a lot of damage, because he is in major need of something more than what he's got already. He really, really needs something more than what he's got already. Let's see the little bit of Protoss pulling back over the left side a little bit. Bio still looking to press forwards. 10 SCVs down, as Vikings will pick up the kill there. Another siege tank on the bottom side. A Nexus will be placed. It's a big anti-armor missile. Hits just the front few Zealots. It's the front few Zealots getting caught in anti-armor, and here we go. Bio gonna sit here, as you do see the Zealots getting taking a lot of hits. A lot of Zealots going down. These Archons being picked off. The Colossus were targeted by the siege tanks. That's gonna be GG, as INnoVation turns this series around for the moment to tie it up 1-1 in the best of 3. Let's jump into this as we go into game number 3. Tied up 1-1. And into Simulacrum we go, as we have got on the top left-hand side our red Protoss player. It is Parting. On the bottom right-hand side, our blue Terran is INnoVation. The third and final map. As well, Parting had a good day already today, right? Took down took down Ragnarok so far, and then INnoVation lost to Ragnarok. INnoVation looking for his first win here. Does that mean we have all the Zest matchups left after this? It does, right? So we'll do all 3 Zest matchups when we Starting up after this, we'll go in the order they were played. Zest versus PartinG, Zest versus INnoVation, and Zest versus Ragnarok, guys. There's a couple of SCVs down the low ground trying to fight the probes. Nexus of PartinG building up on the natural as the SCV moves around into the main base. Just going to be seeing the SCV coming back down the left side and see where it gets to. A probe of PartinG down on the bottom, and is going to be able to set up a pylon. Command center of INnoVation already building on the natural expansion, as we do see the Reaper looking for a scout toward the main base. PartinG will proxy then. Probably just a Stargate in that bottom left. The Stargate will go down and the Reaper drops a grenade. Just going to be kind of a bit of damage done. Probe's taking some hits. Depth of PartinG in towards the natural expansion in the marine. He's going to finish up. SCV takes a shot, takes another shot. Nice little delay on the CC, of course, but this is something we see often until there's a second and third marine out, so nothing the Terran player can really, really has to worry about too much here, as the SCV is actually going to repair each other up and maybe give themselves some new life to get back onto this command center. I don't think that one had enough health on it, though. As the SCV, or the Adept Shade's out. So one SCV dies, the CC at least does get finished a little bit sooner here. There's that proxied Stargate building the Oracle right now. So Oracle already on the way up. Just waiting for this Oracle to finish momentarily as we'll fly across in toward the main base. Run the Hellion, get some damage done. What does INnoVation have to deal with this? I mean, answer absolutely nothing. A handful of Marines. Basically has to bring the Marines into the main base, so we'll start to bring the Marines across. A couple of them getting here already, a couple more. Oracle doesn't have endless energy here, so this isn't actually so bad. He does have a 3 Hellion drop line heading toward the main. And if PartinG takes some damage from that, it's very possible we end up in a position where INnoVation is back at the work account he needs to be at. Oh, the Marines trying to decide where they want to go. Okay, sees the Oracle coming in, so we'll get a few Marines here. Loses a couple SCVs very quickly, though. The Hellion's going to arrive, and PartinG is going to be under some heavy pressure. He's going to lose a lot of probes, as a lot of work is going down, actually. So, oh no, they stack up as well. The probes continue to fall. INnoVation gets some serious damage. He kills 12 probes. He's going to try and die for a couple more. He gets up to 14. INnoVation puts himself back in the worker game. 29 to 27. Sorry, guys. I don't know why we don't have the game hard enabled. I hosted this lobby, so I think it's just bugged out on the host. Hence no worker killed cab on the side, so I do apologize for that. That is 14 probes killed. That is absolutely crazy. There's another command center dropping down from INnoVation on the third base. As this Oracle will come out over this right-hand side, and that's going to fly in toward this natural here any moment now. A few Marines already lying in wait, though. So this Oracle shouldn't be able to do anything. INnoVation giving PartinG some life advice. Revelation drops a few Marines, an Orbital getting caught up in that. The Cyclone able to lock onto that Oracle and get a kill pretty quickly. As across the map, the Order Turret is in. It comes at the cost of the Raven, so Raven already comes down, and INnoVation's a little bit sad about it, and now 3CC set up for him. There's this impact. 2 more rocks. All coming into play with the command center about to finish up on this natural as well. We do have 2 more engineering bays dropping down on the natural. The refinery is already building up in the natural as well. These guys are really chatty today. It's INnoVation's behind. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, INnoVation. INnoVation's TvP mentality might make him feel like he's behind, but I think there's a reality he has to realize where he is not. As the Adept comes over to the right-hand side, and a lot of these Stalkers looking ready to fight in a few moments. A couple of extra gates continuing up. Robotics facility on the natural expansion, and again, a lot of those Stalkers maybe wanting to jump into the frontier, maybe go after that bunker, the depot. This lone Marine gets chased by a Zealot. Cyclone ends up getting a lock on and will be able to take this down. Stalks pressing forwards. A couple of Marines coming through. Tank able to do a bit there. Another tank getting sieged as well. I mean, these Stalkers should be kept back as PartinG kind of feels like he wants to go for something aggressive. I mean, he's obviously on 3 gases, so the scan here doesn't reveal much army, but it does see this gas missing. PartinG immediately going to respond and start dropping down extra gases and a Templar Archives. There's INnoVation about to be on 1-1 in that combat shield, so will we see a push from Inno? Well, it's always scary to push into that gateway heavy army. He scans the 3rd base as well. INnoVation is very afraid of what PartinG is up to. The SCV is going to pull with this as INnoVation moves out. Hallucination will see it coming. I mean, tank's just not sieged here at all as PartinG is ready to fight in the middle of the map. INnoVation stims. There's no upgrades yet here from INnoVation. They've just now finished up, so now he has 1-1. More SCVs show up as well. I think he lost, what, 1 siege tank in this? He's going to kill these sentries already. Losing the sentries is kind of a huge deal. It's just going to be seen, Medevac coming in to try and heal this. New sentry warped in. Helping out a little bit. Bit of damage already being done, of course, in the shield battery to already get to healing. At some point, do you not just attack these rocks, INnoVation? Another force field. Well, yeah, I feel like at some point you just have to make your way through these rocks. He's actually got a little bit of a gap through the force field. He's just going to line his units up through that here. Here we go. INnoVation going to stem up this ramp. Results are going down. The Stalker's going to get chased. The Archon's already in the process of dying. And INnoVation getting to the frontier, going to get this, well, pretty much everything this is PartinG is kind of just dead, I think. Terran Ember is what he calls, is just going to be seeing the Stalkers. They don't really have anywhere good to go. Tanks continue to fight. And INnoVation. It honestly felt like in game 1, INnoVation didn't really care too much about this series, just doing a little bit of whatever. But now turns it around and wins 2 back-to-back, or at least looks like he'll win 2 back-to-back. To win this out, I mean, it's pretty sick. It's not over yet, but the army supply difference is pretty substantial. 77 to 35. You now kill the natural expansion as well, so that's permanent damage done. The 3rd CC of INnoVation can maybe build some SCVs if he feels like he needs it, but, well, he should just be able to fight this here, and yeah, I mean, the tanks are not going down at all. GG from PartinG. And INnoVation is going to take the 2-1 victory and turns his day around for the moment, as he was on a loss against Ragnarok as well. So INnoVation, it just turns this series around. Honestly, it felt like INnoVation went from just sort of like messing around a bit and seeing what would happen. Maybe didn't want to show too much here today. Maybe a bit tilted to like, I feel like he lost the game against PartinG. He was like, you know what? You know, like, it's like, it's a new low if I'm losing to PartinG, and maybe like revitalized him or something. GG's. And INnoVation is going to take this, and that's going to be 2-1 victory for INnoVation in this best of 3 in the WardiTV Spring Champ.